let me give you another example. Congress and President Johnson came together and established DARPA to deal with a new generation of defense threats, the kinds of things that in the 1960s are analogous to artificial intelligence and autonomous weapons China's pouring billions of dollars into today. Initial funding for DARPA was $20 million. In today's dollars, that's $4,500 million. The president's budget proposes a total of $459 million in defense AI R&D. $459 million compared to $4,500. We're not meeting this threat.
Congressman, we believe we've got a substantial investment, particularly in the area of AI and quantum, that we want to double these important
Yeah, it's
initiatives
substantial unless you look at what the competition's doing. Now, the president's former Secretary of Defense, General Mattis, said, if you don't fund the State Department fully, then I need to buy more ammunition. Admiral Mike Moulton, who served as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to both Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama, said, this is a moment when more investment in diplomacy and development is needed, not less. Director Vogt, why does this budget do the exact opposite, cutting the State Department by 21%?
Because there's a difference between diplomacy, which we fully fund, and foreign aid, which we think we have gone on too long with providing at
Okay,
such high levels.
so I was just in Vietnam. I was just in Vietnam 2 weeks ago, which has become a critical ally in the growing military and economic competition with China. What I heard from our military officers, and from Vietnamese officials on the ground is that they want to be with us. They want to be with America, not with authoritarianism. But our diplomatic and development effort is not keeping pace with China's Belt and Road Initiative. So they're asking for more development money. Our military officers on the ground, you're doing the exact opposite. I mean, does President Trump know more than our military officers on the ground, more than General Mattis and Admiral Mullen?
We triple the funding for the Development Finance Corporation that you just enacted into law, specifically so we can compete with China. We have an Indo-Pacific strategy in which countries of which you've already mentioned would also benefit. But we think it's high time that we get out of the situation where we pay for statutes to Bob Dylan in Mozambique and other wasteful spending across the world.
Well, Director Vogt, I think that the president ought to spend some time on the ground in Vietnam. I know he doesn't believe in that personally. He was happy to send someone else in his place. But it might teach him a little bit about what development and diplomacy does for our military.